Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. It's a it's a book about essentially this pedophile, Humbert Humbert, who chases after this 12-year-old girl, Dolores Hayes. And that really summarizes it. I heard about this book from the book My Dark Vanessa, which was apparently the author of that. What was her name? Elizabeth Lauren, I think. I might be getting that wrong. I'm sorry. But the book is My Dark Vanessa. Apparently, the author was really inspired by Lolita, and that book touches on the Me Too movement and all of that. And so that put Lolita on the radar for me, and I finally got around to it. And this book's a classic. It's in pop culture. You've probably heard of it even if you haven't read it. It's studied in schools. It's iconic. And overall, I thought, I'm of mixed opinions of it. I'll get into it. I think objectively, the book is amazing. I think it's worthy of the praise. And I think subjectively, it's just okay. Like it just, I found it a little uninteresting. Okay, it's just a bad person doing some bad things, and it's not terribly entertaining. But objectively, as for getting inside the mind of a pedophile and how beautiful language can totally change your perspective or try to change your perspective on something, it's great. It's great. So before we get into all that, I just want to talk about the one thing that I actually really, really liked. And this is going to sound pretty random because it's not something that is in most of the discussions about this book. But the one thing that I really liked were the road trips. This story has 2 separate road trips. And okay, so my wife really likes road trips, and she's always having dreams about them, and she wants us to buy a Jeep, and she has these daydreams of us going on road trips and all that. And when I was reading the 2 long road trip parts in this book, one of them has entire chapters where they're talking about all the hotels and all the places and all the towns and all the cars and all the stuff that they see. And I kept thinking, like, is it going to be like this when I go with my wife from place to place? Are we going to think back and remember all the hotel rooms and the keys and the colors and the trees and all that? So it's a weird personal thing, but the thing that stuck out most to me in this book, even more than the craziness of Humbert Humbert, is actually the road trips. So make that of it what you will. It's kind of random, but whatever. So the main thing that I liked is, like I mentioned in the beginning, the writing. The writing is incredibly poetic and eloquent, and this is because Humbert Humbert is highly intelligent. He's a very smooth talker, and he's very charismatic. And this story is him in prison talking to you, or his writings, like trying to essentially convince you that what he has done is not that bad. And the language definitely reflects that. Essentially, it just adds another layer to how creepy he is and how creepy all of this is, and how he's just a creep, and he uses beautiful honeyed words to try to lure you in and sympathize with him. Try to say that, oh, it's not my fault. I was drawn to this. I had to do it. And this is further shown in how he dehumanizes Dolores, who he calls Lolita, but more than that, who he calls a nymph. So there are certain girls that he's attracted to. It must be something to do with like a certain type of appearance, like a certain type of face. And he says that these specific girls, they're not human. They are mythological creatures. They're nymphs. They're nymphets. So that what he is doing to them, what he wants to do to them, what he fantasizes, it's perfectly fine, because he's not doing it to humans. He's doing it to these mythological creatures, and that somehow justifies it. But then he contradicts himself, because in other parts of the book he blatantly says that he knows what he's doing is wrong, and that he can't help it, and that he's drawn to it, and that he kind of blames the girls, saying like, oh, they're like sirens and they're luring him in and he can't resist. And it's just like so, I'm trying not to cuss, but it's so pathetic. So pathetic. Like, dude, it does not matter if this 12-year-old girl is like just raging with hormones and throwing herself at you. Like, you push her away. Like, what the fuck? Oh gosh. Anyways, this is just common sense, and it's obvious that Humbert is really screwed in the head, despite being highly intelligent. But in no part of this book does Dolores ever actually like throw herself at him. Like, remember, she's just a normal 12-year-old girl. There are parts in this book where he will say that she's a temptress and that she's, or that she's catty or something like that. That she kind of flirts with them. But then in other parts, he'll make a quick mention of how when he's feigning being asleep, night after night after night, that she'll just be in bed like sobbing her eyes out. So if we look at it clearly from Dolores' point of view, like, she's just a broken 12-year-old doing her best in the situation that she has, like stuck on these road trips with this man who's raping her, and she can't really do anything about it. But from Humbert's point of view, he's an unreliable narrator, and he can twist the words however he wants because it's his story. He can say, well, she was dancing and flirting and she had a crush on me and yada yada yada. It's all, this whole book just makes me sad. This, My Dark Vanessa, and A Little Life, all of them, they're just about these broken people who don't get happy endings. And even in this one with Dolores, she, after the book ends, it's written elsewhere that she has a miscarriage, and then she dies on Christmas, and like she never, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm like crying. She never got justice, and sorry, this is a tough one. Yeah. This book is pretty messed up, but at the same time it's very beautifully written, and if you haven't read it, I definitely think you should give it a shot. Don't think that, oh, because it's a book about a pedophile, like, why would you read that? Like just, it's a great insight into somebody with this type of mind, and it's a tragic story that's very beautifully written, and just give it a shot. I think you might like it. Yeah. Overall, like I said in the beginning, I think objectively this book is great, and then subjectively it's like I can kind of take it or leave it. It's not really my taste. I'm kind of into other things, and that about sums it up. I will probably read more of Nabokov's writings. I think he has one called Pale Fire that sounds interesting. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. And anyways, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.